Good afternoon, and welcome to another patriotic version of Diatribes from the voice of Doom. Now here's your patronizing and patriarchal host, Voice of Doom. Oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? The ironies in that particular poem are myriad, but I thought I'd recite that on July 5th because I didn't do anything for July 4th, so I figured I'd do it today, wearing red, white, and blue out of respect to the tribe that considers those colors sacred. And just talk a little bit about everything. I'll say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Now, I think it would be a good song for a war song, even though it's kind of depressing. I don't know if you could be marching along, singing that, feel any kind of energy. Oh, say, can you see? That would get tired really quickly. It's hard. It's a hard song to sing, and I just think it's ironic that our national anthem would be basically a war anthem, which is what our so-called country has been based on since its inception. It was born of war. It continued wars. It decided wars, and then in the very end, it funded all war around the world. So it's a basic tenet of Americanism is war. Now, I don't know the mechanics of cause and effect and karmic retribution, but it seems to me that when you perpetuate war for hundreds of years and then you profit from war for 70 years, and you perpetuate an economy through war for 70 years, that collectively and individually there will be retribution for that. Just stands to reason to me. I may be wrong. I may be an idiot. But that's the way I see it. So I'm not a big fan of patriotism. I would really prefer to see a united planet in peace and harmony, using our resources to better everyone's life, and for everyone to do human revolution and improve themselves every day, and for everyone to try to get along. And if you see someone or something that you don't agree with, you can try to change that, but don't try to change people. Don't try to force your belief on others because you think that you're righteous. Because if it's righteous, it will take care of itself. It stands to reason. But I'm not a big patriot. I do have the flag flying outside my house out of respect to the once noble causes and foundations and causes and principles that were the foundation of our country: freedom, justice, liberty, pursuit of happiness. equal justice for all. All that stuff has gone by the wayside. So what I pledge allegiance to, I don't. And I'm sincere. I want to see a better world. And we can't do it through tribalism. We can't do it through nationalism. Nationalism is a 19th century social construct which should be gotten rid of, but not if we're going to go to something even worse. So that's where I stand on that. But how did we celebrate the 4th of July? Not me personally, but us as a population of a former country. How did we celebrate our independence? By shooting off fireworks? Perhaps. I heard a few fireworks going off here and there. I didn't bother to go see them because I've seen them before. And it's pretty much the same thing. How do we celebrate 4th of July this weekend? Well, Philly. 5 killed. 2 boys injured, aged 2 and 13, in a mass shooting. Fort Worth. 3 killed, 8 hurt in a mass shooting. Wichita, Kansas, of all frickin' places. And I've been there many times, so it's not the kind of place where you expect 7 wounded and 2 trampled at a nightclub by a mass shooter. And Baltimore, 28 shot, 2 killed by multiple gunmen wearing bulletproof vests. Okay, so that's how we celebrate the 4th of July from now on. We recreate the Revolutionary War and have gunmen go out and shoot up people. Now, the Gun Violence Archive, which is an organization which just by its name alone tells you that they are liberal idiots. Because whenever they say gun violence, you know where they're at. People don't shoot people, guns do. If the guns weren't there to go off, nobody would harm anyone, according to Petri Dish. Gun Violence Archive tracks mass shootings involving at least 4 victims. Do you want to guess how many mass shootings by that description have occurred this year, 2023? Take a wild guess. 340. Okay? We're only halfway through the year, basically. 340. So, at that rate, we will have 2 mass shootings per day on average this year. So, land of the free. You're free to go outside. You're free to go to nightclubs. You're free to go to block parties in almost any sector of the United States. And you're free to be killed. Okay? That's the 4th of July for you, circa 2023. Now, I saw a little thing by Brett Cooper, who I like. She was doing a little thing on doomism, but not the way I do it. She was kind of commiserating over the attitude of the Gen Zers, that life was hopeless and that it's not worth caring about anything anymore, so let's just be hedonistic and do our own thing, and the world's coming to an end. AOC said 12 years. That was like 5 years ago, so we got like 7 years left before the whole earth falls apart and is destroyed by climate change. So they've indoctrinated and groomed children from a very early age to say life is hopeless because the earth is coming to an end. And then we commiserate that they're weird, they dress up like cats, they dress up like wolves, they make themselves out to be hideous beings, thinking it's cool, not thinking about the future, not thinking about if I tattoo my entire face, what happens when the trend goes away? I still have a tattooed face. Okay, they don't think about that because there is no future. I've already said that. So, that's fine. Do what you want. It's a hard edge to walk along. It is for me, because I feel like everything's going to fall apart any time now, and so I don't want to, be too generous with paying off my creditors, because I figure the minute I get them paid off, we're going to all blow up. That's the way my life goes. But she was talking about doomism, and I think that there is what you might call righteous doomism. That's what I am. I'm a person who is a fatalist and a doom and gloomer, but I try to explain why. And I do it from the standpoint that I've lived through history. So I've seen how things happen. So I think there's certain positive aspects to having a fatalistic attitude. And I think some people are just doomers because it's trendy, or, they're not really paying attention to the news per se. And they have their own belief system. And whether they're right or wrong, they, think that everything's hopeless. So I think I can agree with them. And I'm sorry for Brett Cooper, who has a overall optimistic view of the future, because maybe far out 200 or 300 years in the future, things might be better. But our near-term future looks bleak. I'm still telling you there's going to be massive food shortages. I'm still telling you that there's war and rumors of war in every corner of our planet. I'm still telling you that there's mass chaos at the border. I'm still telling you that there's Chinese infiltrators throughout the length and breadth of what used to be the United States. And there's rumors on the rumor mill that they're getting ready to do something that's going to be a concerted effort to really disrupt us. And it's going to be through poisoning the reservoirs. Those are things that have water in them. Cyber attacks, where huge swaths of the digital virtual universe are taken down. Food sabotage, which is already happening and has been happening. And various other means to nettle us and to jab us. Death by 1,000 cuts. Just to soften the target, because they can, make a lot of hay out of doing a few sabotage acts, and then letting the whole country destroy itself on its own, because all we need is one or two crises before we go and start eating each other. So, as far as doomism is concerned, I think we still have a lot to worry about. And I'll leave it there. I wanted to make it a happy one for the 4th of July post-weekend. And I think everybody kind of enjoyed my take on it. I think we should change the national anthem to America the Beautiful, because at least that unites nature, the oneness of humans and their environment, Eishofuni, in a Buddhist term. The oneness of man, or humankind, in their environment is a very important concept, because if humankind are in harmony, then the environment is in harmony. And we have a planet that is much better. Let's just put it that way. So I'll leave it there. I'm a little bit lethargic today, but I hope this was kind of a good one. And we'll see when I play it back. But enjoy the 5th of July and all the rest of July. We'll see what happens. I don't see good things, but that's me. You know how I am. So, good afternoon and enjoy the day. Thanks.